AI isn't eliminating the need for analysts. What it's doing is it's separating who understands data and who does not understand that data. Analytic roles are still projected to grow. When we look at the data from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics website, it's above average growth for both data roles and cybersecurity roles. And why? Because they're basically cousins at this point. But anyway, I want to talk about AI and its impact on our work. So if you're hired as an analytic professional or you are functioning in the space of an analytic professional, you are there to solve a problem. You are not there because you know SQL or you know Power BI or you know Python or you know the skills or the tools. You're there because you adequately understand how to leverage those tools to solve whatever the existing problem is that that business is facing. It's always a problem. And your output is fully dependent on your understanding of that problem. And what I mean by that, as an analytic professional, it is your primary goal to ensure alignment. Alignment from the business and alignment from the data side. And what that looks like is if you are there to do an analysis on a specific KPI, that KPI has to clearly be defined. And the way that this department might define or reference that KPI might be slightly different from this department. And there might be variations between those definitions. But it's one of your primary jobs to push that alignment across the business for your logic. So if I'm feeding my AI tool inaccurate or inappropriate or incorrect KPI definitions, that analysis that is going to be provided is going to be flawed. And if the analysis that tool provides is flawed, then my business recommendation is flawed. You following me? So at the end of the day, yes, you are able to use that AI tool as a tool. However, you also are responsible for the requirements that you feed that tool, and not only the requirements, but the alignment of those requirements to ensure that they adequately support the business. Everything comes in full circle. And anyone that has worked in the space of data can understand even how that little small nuance with the definition of KPIs, how big of an impact that they could have. Because if you feed it incorrect data for your KPIs, it's not going to do anything but actually like scale that problem and put a magnifying glass on that problem. Because if I provide those recommendations based on an inaccurate logic, they could impact the money. They could impact head count. That has a real life impact on that company and on that organization. In short, it's very risky. So you have to know what you're doing even when you use that tool. And that's what I mean when I say it can't really replace us. You'd have to use it as a tool. You should not be the source of truth, because anyone that has also used it understands its ability to hallucinate or sound very confident when it's actually wrong, or just make up things, honestly. And it's up to you to be able to navigate what's real, what's not. And the only way you're able to do that is because of your baseline foundational knowledge. AI is not going to do that. It only uses what you provided. So in short, AI is just essentially an extension of your existing skills. You still have to have the skills. You still have to have that knowledge, and AI is an extension of that. It is not a replacement of that. And when people get to try to using it as a replacement, it's detrimental. Like it doesn't work like that. You have to know what you're doing. And that's why I always say within the space of data, memorization is not the goal. Nobody cares if you memorize the syntax. That is not the goal. The goal is the ability to apply those concepts, the ability to research on how to solve those problems, the ability to gain alignment from the tech side and the data side and the business. Those are the skills that you're hired to do. Those tools are just like layers on top of that. So bye, y'all. Hope this helps.